my gosh, it's 333, you guys. Clock in, it's 333. It is now 333 at the time of me starting my recording. So I think that is so ironic. The universe is definitely speaking to me. I was checking something, so give me a quick second. Are we live? Yes, I think we're live. I already did my mic check because getting adjusted with having this little mic and talking to you all face forward is something that I'm really adjusting myself to. So it's something new, but I'm honestly just happy that I'm continuing to do it. I definitely was already supposed to have this video recorded. Prioritizing and organizing is definitely along my path right now. So you be patient with me. Just know that you're definitely going to get these videos active because we are a family, and yeah, thank you all for coming. So we're going to go ahead and get into some things. What's up? What's good? It's Trixie T here, bringing peace and love per usual to you and you and all of you. With that being said, if you don't know by the title already, we will be discussing transitioning as well as career. And with these topics, I think that they intertwine because I'm on this journey of transitioning, but at the same time, I want to continue to invest in myself, in my career, in my brand, and the things that I stand for every day. Me learning myself and learning this new version of myself while continuing to spew out my beliefs and continuing to network with people that align with said beliefs. There's a battle sometimes. So you have to keep reminding yourself on why you're doing whatever you're doing or whatever your decisions are. So this video isn't specifically for trans people. It's for all people. But I definitely have to point out the fact that it's for sure for my trans girlies, my trans guys, anyone in the LGBTQI plus community. I love you and know that you are not in this alone. I do understand that this is a everyday journey, so why not continue to talk about it instead of being silent, while also broadening my brand and spreading the trigger effect. So with that being said, what I'm basically going to be doing is talking about my experiences, talking about tips that I'm still using, tips that I feel will be great for you all to also implement into your own life. If it works for you, it works. If it doesn't, hey, I gave a suggestion. You do what you do, boo. But yes, thank you all for coming to even watch the video. I definitely appreciate that. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. And don't forget to leave a comment on what you think so that you can actually join the conversation. So with that, you may be wondering, why is it so important for me to want to balance out transitioning while also building my brand? Because it's a lot easier to focus on one thing instead of having your mind think about this and then think about this. But that's a part of life. Things happen and you have to roll with the punches, but you also want to stay along your path, whatever that is for you, whatever your beliefs are. People are going to try you. People are not going to agree. People are definitely going to disagree with your beliefs. But if you truly believe and you truly are standing on it, then it's up to you to continue to stand on it. Because if you don't stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. So you definitely want to keep that in mind. A question that I always ask myself is what actually helps me stay active and stay zoned in to what I want to put out into the world. And we always talk about protecting your energy. We always talk about who you surround yourself with. It has a big play on your beliefs, the way you move, because these are the people that are basically putting things into your mind. And it's like you receive all of this. So you definitely have to be mindful on who you're surrounding yourself with and what type of knowledge. All knowledge isn't good knowledge. So you definitely want to keep that in mind. And I had to realize that myself, and I'm still learning because I know that although I have a job, it's what pays the bills. But I do know that this is not something, it's not a forever thing. Like, I'm always reminding myself that it's temporary, and I'm always reminding myself that, hey, this is a part of your journey. Do not overthink it. What can I do now to get me closer to what I want to be in my life. And I've realized that when you're in the public eye or when you're in society in general, protecting your energy is the most important thing. And I've noticed that whenever I'm out and about, sometimes you're not always, like I was saying, you're not always going to agree. So the best thing to do is have debates. I see why debates is such a big thing. We don't argue, we debate. And if it does not align with my spirit, if my spirit don't feel good about it, then I'm not going to force myself to relate. We don't argue, but we can debate. And if it doesn't sit well with my spirit, then maybe I will not make myself relate. I'll keep an open mind, but I realize if it doesn't align with my brand, then why would I force myself to be a part of it? I have a perfect example for this. I don't know about you all, but I do have roommates. And I love my roommates. I love them. And we're basically a part of different cultures. And I am very appreciative of that because it's taught me a lot about other people's beliefs, and having to live in a house with people is something that's new for me as well. So it's definitely allowed me to have a different perspective on what it is to have people that don't agree, but also come together as a family at the end of the day. Because that's what that's all that really matters. You still want to respect other people's belief, respect that we all come from different backgrounds, we all have different perspectives on life. So you shouldn't feel like your idea on life is the only idea or your beliefs are the only beliefs, because then you're leaving yourself closed-minded to not realize that, hey, there's other people that want to be great in life, and it may not be within the same realms of what you're doing, but hey, everyone wants to, no one wants to be a failure. So you definitely want to find ways to be creative and keep your energy flowing, keep your imagination flowing, because it helps you stay connected to, why am I doing this? These are the questions that we probably all ask each other in our head every day. Why am I doing this? Is what I'm doing, or something that you should be asking yourself, is what I'm doing something that's aligning with where I want to be in the next 5 years or in the next few months? It just depends. If you want to grow, then I feel like it's something that's continuing to help me continue to question myself and question my beliefs on what it is that I want to leave into the world. Of course, what my brand is what I'm creating and what I'm standing for, but what do I actually want to leave into the world? Because anything could happen, and you want to make sure that what you're standing for now is something that people will be able to speak about when you leave here. And I believe that's a part of the journey. So the story that I was actually going to relate to this is, the other day, my roommates and I, we were all having a discussion, and things are y'all know that politics are very sensitive right now. But so one of them, I have a Nigerian roommate and I also have a Persian roommate. Sometimes it can get stressful because they're both international students, and trying to balance out life as well as your schooling and all these things, it can get very stressful while you're still being active in life. Like all that, sometimes it can get very overwhelming. So that's very understanding. So we were having a conversation and I was talking to my Nigerian roommate, and I was like, you need to smile. And he was like, there's no reason to smile. And then a few moments later, we looked at my Persian roommate and he looked sad. And then the Nigerian roommate told him to smile. And I was like, ain't that the kettle calling the pot black, or however that goes? But it really allowed me to put myself into perspective that if you're going to talk about it, you actually have to be about it. It's something that we can all align with. I feel like whatever you stand for, you want to stand on that and don't allow anyone else to change your beliefs or change your direction, because your direction. Of course, we all are a reflection of each other, but who you are aligning yourself with, how are you allowing yourself to keep that creative flow? These are things that I feel give me hope, or give me an open mind on what my purpose is, because it's an everyday journey and we all know that. But working in customer service, there's a lot of different people that come in, there's a lot of different personalities, and I still have to give my customer service energy. So sometimes all energy isn't good energy. And when you realize that, you literally have to take a step back and be like, is this worth me putting my energy into it? Do I actually need to allow what's going on right now to react what I have going on outside of here, or the things that I want for myself? And do I have to let this affect me as much as it could or would, because we all have the control over that. And it's a process of continuing to practice and find healthy ways to not let things affect you in a negative way. Because if not, you'll lose track. You'll lose sight on, why am I doing this? Why am I working? Why am I even investing my time into this? Of course, we all want to be at home and be cuddled up and be just eat whatever we want to eat and do whatever we want to do. But if you don't have a system, if you don't have any type of aim or a viewpoint towards, hey, my intentions are for this, so I'm going to act in accordance to the intentions that I have planned for myself. Because if you're just doing it out of spite, or you're letting the outside world affect the imagination that we all have is as little children, and become these adults that want so much out of life, you want to make sure that you're continuing to keep that creative spark and spread a lot of love. There's really no way else around that. But I do want to say, I also would love to discuss, how do I implement it in my work environment. Because sometimes people really will come up in there like the niggas. They come up in there and they are so aggressive, because when you know what you want, you move accordingly. But everybody don't deal with things the same. We live in a time where people think that smoking weed, hey, you want to go hit the blunt? Or, oh, I might not need to say that up here, huh? I don't want my video to get deleted. So we live in a time now where people will be like, you're trying to match. And matching is not a date. I don't see that as a date. I don't see that as something that, hey, I'm going to go do this so that I can get closer to this person and better understand them. No, I want to meet a person in a sober mindset. I want to see how you act when you actually have to deal with those emotions. And what do you do? Do you just let them come and let them go? Or do you actually deal with them? Do you actually figure out why you're having these emotions? Do you actually take a step back, take that breather to go ahead and just say, hey, I don't feel good right now. What do I need to do to get me back to where I know I want to be? Or I'm so excited now. What do I need to do to keep me on this same type of frequency? I don't force people to have the same beliefs as me, but I do know that my main goal is to stand on my beliefs and continue to spew out that although I am a part of a minority group, and it doesn't necessarily define me, although I am a part of a community where we are literally targeted, what can I do to continue to let people know that there is a light? You don't have to be sad about it. You don't have to be spiteful just because you feel like that's you protecting your energy, because of course we all want to protect our energy. We all have different ways on how we protect our energy. But if you're not doing it in a way that aligns with the actual, what is your brand? Like, what do you actually stand for? Then it's all just repetition. We all would just be living in a world of repetition, and everyone would be miserable and everyone would have a whole lot of anxiety. And that's not really what I want for myself. So I feel like talking about it and continuing to find ways to stay connected with my higher self and find that creative flow allows me to continue to spread the love that I know I want to keep giving people. So with that comes journaling. With that comes talking to your friends, not feeling like you have to isolate yourself. Because the more you isolate yourself, the less space you have for people to give you that love that you want to. If you want to spew out love into people, you cannot do that from behind the door. You actually have to go out there and actually have to open your heart, open your mind, body, soul to the idea that, hey, I want to spread love because I know that there are people that want to also spread love. So let's spread love together. How about we spread more love than spreading hate? So journaling, if that works for you, I feel like it's been working for me really well. I don't do it every day, but I do know that it helps me get a little bit more clarity on how my day is going, or if things get overwhelming, I can at least write it down to get a better I don't know, it feels like it gives you a more of a visual when you actually write it down and put that attention towards why I'm thinking the way that I'm thinking. Because if you let it just continue to cloud your mind, then you'll just have a clouded mind. And it's a hell of, I don't think that aligns with that flow spirit that I believe that we should all be looking for in this lifetime. So another thing is continuing to educate yourself. Continue to, because I feel like continuing to educate ourselves allows us to know that there is more out there, allows us to have a broader perspective on different ways to not only deal with things, but continuing to, knowledge is power. So why, and if you don't use it, you lose it. So right now I am practicing Spanish and I may not do it every day, but being able to understand and have a different dialect is something that I honestly would have never expected for myself. We learn things like this in high school, but girl, I cannot tell you anything that I learned in my Spanish classes. My teacher wasn't even Spanish. If we asked her anything outside the book, she would have to Google it. And I think that is sad, but that's the reality of, if you're going to teach, if you're going to be an artist, if you're going to build, if you're going to travel, if you're going to be a chef, if you're going to not do a damn thing with your life, that's your choice. But I do feel like the more you continue to test yourself and challenge your boundaries and take yourself out of your comfort zone, the closer you will be to aligning yourself with the same people who have that same mindset of, hey, we're not going to stay stagnant. We're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to spread that love. And we're going to also continue to be an advocate and talk about that nothing is perfect. And I think that's the most beautiful part of it. Accepting your flaws and being able to let yourself know that you're that guy or you're a bad bitch. You deserve that. So why take that away from yourself when these are things that when other people say it, it makes you feel good? So why not tell yourself these same things? Why not continue to remind yourself that, hey, I want to make a difference. I'm beautiful, so I want to tell other people they're beautiful, or this person's beautiful. Why am I not beautiful? Type of stuff like that. Have confidence in yourself. Continue to spew out those affirmations. I don't give a damn how many times. I don't care how delusional you need to be. If it makes you feel good, we all want to feel good. I don't think anyone wants to just be high all the time. I know in this generation we can talk about being high all the time. It's like a vibe. But I honestly feel like the high that you get on being on a natural high is something that is only obtainable when you do the inner work and you really start to be vulnerable with yourself and be truthful with yourself and tap into yourself. And like I said, that's not taking you away from everybody else in life, but you also want to make sure that what you're standing on in the inside is something that you're actually intentionally putting your actions towards. Outside of that, the main objective is continuing to be creative because it keeps that flow of imagination and it brings a peace of mind, in my opinion. Oh, also, another thing, don't judge your thoughts. Simply observe and figure out what's causing them. Oh, girl, I love that I was able to actually connect with the objectives of what I want to be talking about today without having to look at the paper, my little notes that I did, because it really lets me know that I was giving y'all some real spill. Yes. And I really love that because this is a part of my journey. This is a part of me continuing to not only start up the conversation, but be vulnerable enough to show my flaws and let you all know that no one's perfect. But if I can be a bad bitch, I'll be an imperfect way. What's the right word to say? If I can be a bad bitch, I will be the most imperfect bad bitch there is on the planet. Period. Another thing that I really want to talk about though is recognizing real love and convenient love, because when you start to love yourself and you start to find ways to actually do the self-care, do that dating yourself type of ordeal, when you step back into the dating scene and when you actually allow people into your circle, what's real, making you feel good, if it's making you feel like you're less of a person, then these people shouldn't be in your life. Because at the end of the day, You are what matter, and everyone is a reflection of you. It literally goes back to that. So why would you allow someone to knock you off of your high horse? Because baby, I'ma ride to the motherfucking heels fall off. But that's just me. If it's you, then I feel like it would resonate. And we're a fam bam now, so I felt like why not bring the discussion here so that we can continue the conversation. And if you're not gonna actually talk about it, then what type of advocate are you actually being? Stop flaking your glow. Oh, that's the one. Stop faking your glow. If your creative battery's at 1%, stop faking your glow. If your creative battery's at 1%, then baby, what are you recording? A blank screen, literally, no filter. That's the one. Stop faking your glow. If your creative battery is not at 100%, it doesn't mean that you don't have to continue to go for what you want. But if it's at 1%, baby, I guarantee you, once you start to try and edit and pinpoint what you really trying to spew out to the world, you'll be back to square one, back to still at square one, possibly dead, not being able to charge, not being able to even edit. So keep that in mind. What is something else that I want to leave you all with? Because you said I will leave y'all with a quote every time that I'm on here. Let me actually find my quote. Oh, girl, what is this? All right, so you guys, every time I come on here and do a video with y'all, I want to leave y'all with a quote. And since we were talking about being creative and staying in that flow of what are you standing for? What is your brand? Like, although we all probably may have jobs, what is it? What is something that you actually want to leave outside of that job? What is something that you want people to think of when they think of you? And the quote for today is perfect for, I think it's a perfect message towards what I'm getting at for us all to reflect on. So the quote of today is, the only way to do great work is loving what you do. And that's by Steve Jobs. And when I read that quote, I was like, that makes a whole lot of sense because there's something that I don't know who said it, if you know in the comments, but they were basically saying that when you find something that you love to do, then you'll never work a day in your life. And that's so true. Of course, it's all temporary. For me, it's temporary, but working is also something that everything, because even if you're not working for somebody else, once you start to invest in yourself, you're working your ass off to make sure that whatever you want in life and whatever you would for people to get out of it, you have to put in the work to actually make it come into fruition. So work don't stop. And yeah, that creative mindset, spread a whole lot of love. And yeah, I hope y'all have a beautiful rest of y'all week, a beautiful rest of y'all day. Continue to do what you have to do to align you with your higher frequency. From Trixie Trey, if no one else told you. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and stay tuned for more videos that I will be posting about how I have overcame, how I am overcoming, and tips that you all could probably use to, if it works for me, I feel like it might work for you. So, it resonates, I did my job. If not, I pass it along to the next person. It might work for them. So yeah, thank you all so much again, and yeah, love. Until next time. No, I love the fit today, by the way. She's giving